outpost of the Texas Rangers shared in this adventure, many times aiding the agents of the United States government. This is a typical ranger station. This outpost seems quiet, but a few miles away, in line of duty, the Rangers ride, bringing to justice another group of killing and being killed while enforcing the law, and lending assistance to the United States. Sunset Carson, battling to conclude another case in the files of the United States government. Has been the scene of great adventure. In these days, it meant little to a United States Marshal to complete an assignment in Texas and immediately receive orders to proceed hundreds of miles away. Another assignment, another adventure for Sunset Carson and his pal Lucky.
Pal, Sunset. Fixing coffee for me while I take a snooze.
Said this coffee was for you, Lucky. If you want to eat, you've got to work.
Oh, now listen, Sunset.
But they sure disappeared.
Well, we can go back to camp now and get that cup of coffee we should have had before they tried to plug us.
Not so fast, Lucky. We're going to trail those two gents and try and find out why they were shooting at us.
Now listen, Sunset. We were sent down here by the state to investigate the town of Quartzville, not to go looking for a couple of would-be bandits.
All right, you win. Go back to camp and pick up our stuff and ride on into town.
Right on time, Curly. Here's my list of supplies for your next trip.
There ain't gonna be no next trip. When I go down the hill this time, I'm staying there. I ain't aiming on catching those smallpox by hanging around this plague-infested town.
Why, Curly, that's nothing to be scared of. You were vaccinated in Granger the same time I was. A few people left here depend on this line for food and supplies.
I know, Bob, same as you. There wasn't enough freight this past week to feed the horses. It's a shame you gotta go broke after you worked so hard to build up this express business.
I'm not going broke. Besides, you've got to make one more trip. Grandpa Jeffers needs medicine.
Medicine. Did the doc tell you to get that stuff?
No, he didn't.
Let me see that list, Bob.
You've got no right to this, hacker.
I said let me see it. Well, you young squirt, I'll teach you to show me.
Break it up! Stop this pre-problem, you two! Break it up! What's all this trouble, Hacker? What seems to be the trouble with the big fella?
Search me, Constable, but he butted into something that was none of his concern.
That's right.
Well, in a way.
Well, listen. If you want to stay in Quartzville, and nobody in their right mind would, keep out of trouble.
Thanks for helping me out of a tight spot, mister.
It's all right, kid.
Where are you staying? If you're going to be around, I'd like to see you again.
I really don't know. Where's the best hotel or boarding house?
Yeah, well, we can get something to eat.
Well, you see, that's the trouble. Mrs. Oakes, who ran the boarding house, left town. Like everyone else, they're afraid of the smallpox.
Well, my partner and I'll find some place where we can bunk.
My sister and I live on the Lazy J Ranch with Grandpa Jeffers. I'm sure he'll be able to find some place for you.
Sure would be a help if your grandfather could put us up.
He's not really my grandpa. We just call him that. My name's Bob Turner.
I'm Sunset Carson. This is my partner, Lucky. You usually find him with me, but he's not much help.
You said too much right there. I'm with him because he can't take care of himself, that's why.
Well, I'll take you on over to Grandpa's right now. I might as well close up. There's no business anyway.
Well, thanks.
Honey, will you quit fussing over me like a hen with one chick? I'm all right. Go find something else to do, will you? What was you saying, John? I was merely saying I knew the Sexmore family left town today. Heaven only knows what's going to happen to all of us. I don't know what's going to happen to you, but I'm staying. I ain't letting any smallpox scare me. I've been on this ranch for over 30 years, and I ain't leaving. But in your condition, man, you better be very careful. This epidemic could take you off just like that. Well, if you're so all-fired afraid of me kicking off just like that, why don't you change my will like I told you? Being done, Andy. It's being done. But it takes time, you know. He'll be ready to sign any day now.
No, Uncle John, you know you shouldn't get Grandpa so excited with his heart in the condition it is.
I guess you're all right, Jane. Has the doctor been here today? No, we can save the strength for them and meeting. I ain't letting him give me any of that bad rotted vaccination. Hi, Miss Jane.
Hi, Dr.
Mr. Jeffers. Hello, John. Hi there, Doc. Did you sleep well last night, Mr. Jeffers? Why shouldn't I sleep? Got that normal conscience. Maybe, but you have got a racing pulse. Might be a little fever. I'll just take you inside and examine you. Smallpox out of your present condition will take you off in 2 minutes. Well, I guess I better leave before the doctor gets any calculations about you.
I want to be honest with you, Uncle John. Don't you think Grandpa ought to be vaccinated? He never has been, you know.
I certainly do, Jane. I think he should be very, very careful.
Here comes Bob. I wonder who's with him.
Is Doc here?
Yes, he's inside with Grandpa now.
Sis, I'd like to have you meet a very good friend of mine, Sunset Carson.
How do you do?
Howdy, ma'am. And his partner, Lucky. Howdy do.
Hello. Good friends of Bob's are always good friends of mine.
Thank you. This is John Martin. Hi, boys. How are you? Sunset helped me out of a tough spot in town with Hacker.
Oh, Bob, you didn't tangle with him.
It wasn't Bob's fault, Miss Jane. You say the doctor's inside with Mr. Jeffers? Is he sick?
Oh, Grandpa's had heart trouble for years. It isn't the smallpox, if that's what you were thinking.
Jane, I'll have to be getting back to town. I'll drop back and see Andy a little later. Tonight, maybe. Well, goodbye, boys. With this epidemic here in the community, I think you all got to be mighty careful. Mighty careful.
Goodbye, Uncle John.
Goodbye, sir.
Are you and Lucky planning to stay in Clarksville long?
Well, that all depends. Oh, Janie here's a darn good cook, if that's what you mean.
That's exactly what I mean.
We'll come on inside and meet Grandpa.
Now, just relax while I get the vaccine serum ready. You ain't going to stab me with no needle.
Well, Mr. Jeffers, this is a vaccine serum which inoculates you against the contagion of smallpox.
Don't go using those highfalutin words on me. Get out.
You be quiet.
I'm glad you're here, Bob. You tell Doc Alexander that I ain't got no use for that stuff he wants to shoot in my arm. He won't believe me. But, Grandpa, the doctor wants to keep you well. If you think you should have the serum, why don't you let him use it?
That's an intelligent way to put it, Bob.
No one seems to care what happens to me. The two that I love, as if they were my own, even they gang up against me. Doctor, if Mr. Jeffers doesn't want to be vaccinated, you shouldn't insist.
I don't know who you are, young man, but keeping Mr. Jeffers alive is my responsibility as a physician. Got a slight touch of fever now. Besides, all you folks have to be protected, too.
I got a touch of fever, all right. You're keeping my blood boiling with your newfangled ideas. You clear out of here and you'll see how fast my fever will go down.
I believe I'd rather cure triplets with the yips than one old-fashioned man. Now, you stay in bed and be quiet so I can tell if further symptoms develop. I'll be back later.
Don't hurry.
Good day, everyone.
Bye, Bob.
Goodbye. I don't believe I met you, young man.
I'm Sunset Carson.
Well, howdy, Sunset.
Oh, excuse me, Grandpa. I didn't get a chance to tell you. This is his friend Lucky, and they're going to stay with us for a few days, if it's all right with you.
Oh, that's fine. Like to have young folks around it. How about that epidemic? Ain't you sort of scared of it?
No, Mr. Jeffers. There's a lot of men hanging around town that don't seem to be afraid of it either.
That's so?
Say, that's right. There's Hacker and Peters.
Oh, quit running on so, Bob. Take the boys out and let them get washed up. Supper about ready, Jane?
Yes, it is.
That's fine.
I can smell it cooking already.
All right, come on.
Bother to cry, hold on, listen. Don't bother to sigh, hold on, listen. Turn your life, and I believe you. Oh, you cry and whisper, lying there. They tell me that if I should leave you, don't bother to cry, don't take it all. And through my heart, I remind
Why did you send for a state investigator, Mr. Jeffers? Well, I'm an old man, Sunset, and life isn't any too important to me now. Besides, there's a lot of funny things happened around here lately, and...
You never had any other family?
Oh, a nephew, but...
Here is Grandpa and Jane.
Catfish, where'd these two birds come from?
No more about it when I get them to talk.
They got away, Sunset.
Figured you wouldn't catch anyone. They were making too much noise for a legitimate raid. They wanted to draw everyone away from the ranch.
Why? The murder of Grandpa. These two were left behind the shooting.
Who put you up to this, Hacker?
You better talk. You're not smart enough to figure this out for yourself.
We're not saying anything.
Take them out and lock them up, Bob. We'll take them to town in the morning.
So there's somebody after my scalp, eh?
Looks like it, Grandpa. You got any idea who?
I don't know, Sunset. I haven't anything, only a lot of land around here and a few head of cattle. None of this land's worth much since the old North Star mine closed down, 20-odd years ago. Some of my stock's been rustling lately.
You mentioned something about a nephew. What happened to him?
Oh, he disappeared a while back. Probably dead by now.
What makes you think so?
Well, where Jimmy was living, he'd be riding me for money. Always did. Weak sort of a character. Always in some sort of a scrape.
Have you legally adopted Bob and Jane?
Oh, but since Jimmy's gone, I plan to change my will, leaving everything to them, such as it is.
And we keep telling Grandpa not to do it. We're here because we love him.
I know, Jane, but I want to see you and Bob taken care of after I'm gone. That old fuddy-duddy lawyer of mine, John Martin, was supposed to have those papers drawn up months ago for me to sign.
Has he given you any reason why they're not ready?
John never does anything till you almost stick a gun in his ribs. He'll get around to it someday.
Mr. Jeffers, did you tell anyone you'd sent for me?
No, only John Martin, but he's my best friend, knows all about me. Been looking after my affairs for years. Why do you ask?
Someone took a couple of shots at me just before I was riding into town. You better get to bed, though. We'll talk this over in the morning.
Well, all right, Sunset. Everything work out all right, Fraser?
Yeah, Rusty and Hack ought to be reporting at any time.
Doesn't like a 30-30 to do her job right.
That little stuff you're using, Doc, was way too slow.
It wouldn't have been if Carson hadn't shown up. Everything would have looked perfectly legal.
And after taking all that trouble to scare people out of the town. If I say so myself, I did a good job.
You certainly did, Doc. Old Jeffers had no idea he was studying over the lost vein of the North Star. And now it's all ours, boys. That is, provided that Hacker carry out his end of the deal.
What are we going to do with the boy and girl?
No, they'll keep. They're not kin of Jeffers, so they won't get a thing. Now, I'm going up to the ranch the first thing in the morning and checking a few things, and I think you boys better lay low until you hear from me.
All right, boss.
I'll stick close to Grandpa and make sure that nobody sees it. And if anyone comes around, don't worry about me. I can shoot pretty straight.
Good. We'll take the prisoners in town and lock them up. Maybe going without their morning coffee will loosen their tongues.
Yeah, making a man go without his coffee can do all sorts of things to it. Good morning, folks. Morning. I heard you had a little trouble here last night.
Yeah, you heard right.
We're taking a couple of would-be killers into the constable to prove it.
Mr. Jeffers is still in bed. Maybe it'd be better if you come back later, Mr. Martin.
Oh, he's resting. I won't disturb him. He wasn't hurt, I hope.
No, he's all right.
Good. How I drop by?
You idiot.
Hi, what did I do?
Nothing except tell him we had a couple of prisoners.
Well, he's Grandpa's lawyer.
Sure, and he also knew about the trouble we had here last night. Only ones who could have told him were the men that got away.
By golly, you're right.
Well, the damage, if any, has been done, but I'm going to trail Martin. You and Bob take the prisoners on into town. I'll see you there later.
Nice and lean back. Put your hands behind you. Now, smart guy, let's see how much help you'll be to your pal. Nice place you boys have here. I'd like to meet the owner sometime. We might let you live long enough to have that pleasure. Wait it up, Curly. The boss wants us to get Rusty and Hacker loose. Hank, you and Curly stay here and see that our company's there till we get back. All right. Come on, Pete. You walked into the top just like you figured. Good. We're riding for town to spring Rusty and Hacker. Come on. Got a couple of customers here for you, Constable. Can't take them. I just resigned. I'm sorry, I'm not the constable. I just turned in my badge. But I got a couple of killers here. I'm sorry, but me and my family's moving out of this town. What's the matter, Lucky? I got a couple of hombres here who tried to shoot Mr. Jeffers last night.
And the constable says he quit. Yeah, put him in jail.
Now, Bates, it's your duty to lock these dangerous characters up. We can't have renegades jeopardizing the lives of our citizens. Well, darn it, I told you I quit. Take them to the county seat, 12 miles from here. They got a jailhouse there. Some town. No law, no nothing. Well, Sunset, why isn't he handling this?
He'll be along most any time.
Well, I'll see you in a little while. I'm going over to the ranch, see how Mr. Jeffers is coming along. Come on, Bob, we'll take him on down to the county seat.
You want to bang on that thing, why don't you play something?
I don't play so good, but I sing.
You do? Let's hear you. I'll bet you got a good voice.
We've only hovered in a desert age, a beautiful sight that we'll see. We make things happy and are free from care. She's not what she seems to be. Except that when you think of the wasted life, all you cannot make with age. Her beauty was sold for an old man gold. She's never had in a gilded cage.
Sure was swell, Curly. If I didn't have my hands tied, I'd have fallen.
Shucks, it wasn't that good. You know, I never took a lesson in my life.
Is that right? You play that thing like a master. Say, I got a couple of chords I'd like to show you if you'd untie my hands.
Yeah, that's what I need to learn, some new chords.
No, look out, Curly. That's a trick he's got figured out.
Oh, Hank, he couldn't do much with the both of us here and him with no guns.
Well, I'm not taking any chances. You let that singing go to your head.
Oh, I don't get to learn them chords. None of the guys around here knows any music. I untie you, will you promise you won't make a break?
I'm not that foolish, Curly, with you and Hank here. I sure would like to try that guitar of yours. They need some tuning.
You can tell him how to tune it, Sunset.
I can't tell him unless I work the strings at the same time. Never mind, Curly. I just wanted to help.
I'm gonna take a chance. He can't be such a bad guy if he likes music.
It's your funeral.
Okay, let's get started. We haven't got much time.
Well, you hold your fingers like this.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I want to learn.
Well, you hold your hand here like this.
And these two here, huh? Like
Yeah.
that? Oh.
Hank, you better watch this, too. You and Curly might want to play a duet.
Bit of foxtrot, I could play that thing in a few minutes.
I'll bet you could. Come on, let's play, Lucky and Bob Turner are taking Rusty and Hacker to the county seat, and Sunset isn't with them.
I know it. He's tied up on the guard of the hideout shack.
Maybe this will be a good chance for me to get old man Jeffers.
It's a good idea, Doc. We'll free Rusty and Hacker and meet you at the Jeffers place for the final showdown. When I'll get out of you been leaving us in a spot like this? Why, I oughta... Didn't get here none too soon.
I'm sorry about those fellas getting away.
Don't worry about it, Bob. It wasn't your fault. How come you and Lucky were traveling this way? When we got to the jail, the constable quit. He and the doc both said to take the prisoners on down to the county seat. From Doc. How'd he get in on this?
Why, he happened along when we were trying to get the constable to open the jail.
So that's how the gang knew you were traveling this way. The Doc and Martin are working together. Sure looks like it, doesn't it? I trailed Martin to a hideout, Kevin, and walked into a trap. They weren't expecting to return so soon after getting loose, and that's where we're heading. I want to give the inside of that cabin a once-over. Come on.
Letting Carson get away from that hideaway shack was the worst thing that could happen. He's smart enough to tie the Dr. Moon on the field. We'll pick up the rest of the boys around the ranch house and let them have a little hot lid when they show up. Come on.
Well, Mr. Jeffers, as long as you're so set against that vaccine, since you're coming along so well, I think we better try a different treatment. Glad you finally came to your senses, Doctor. But there's one thing I must insist on, and that is plenty of rest and quiet. What the tarnation do you expect with someone shooting at you from all directions?
Now, Grandpa, you're not to get excited. You heard what Dr. Alexander said.
All right, honey. And keep your eyes open. I'm going inside. Nobody inside. We might as well get going. Someone hidden in there, all right. Come on, we'll try to trick them into showing themselves. It's Jimmy Campbell. Suppose you do a little explaining. I didn't want to do it. Honest, I didn't. Martin forced me to. Please, you've got to believe me. You didn't want to do what? Let Grandpa get killed. I got into a brawl about 3 months ago and a man was shot. Martin said I did it. He hid me here. Why does he want Grandpa Jeffers out of the way? He found the lost gold vein of the old North Star right under the cabin. All this land belongs to Grandpa. Grandpa's old will left everything to me. Martin is Grandpa's lawyer, and he knew about it. He forced me to sign over everything to him.
Does Doc
Doc work for Martin?
Alexander's no doctor. He's a mining expert. He was just posing as a doctor to get a chance to kill Grandpa. Holy smoke, Sunset. I'd clean forgotten all this excitement. Doc left town for Jeffers Ranch.
We better get over that. Jimmy, you're going with us.
All right. I'm glad to get this mess off my conscience.
Only hope we're not too late. All right, get on your horse. Playing me some music, that makes me feel better.
Too much noise is bad for you, Mr. Jeffers.
The heck it is. I like music, and I'm going to have music.
You're a stubborn cuss. Here, take one of these every 3 hours.
Give me a glass of water over there, honey. All right, Joe.
Now the morning and the heart you started feeling away down in the river Tennessee. Or we called the mountain laughing, there was 30-something sassy good young buck Morgan on account of me. And the trouble it began this Sunday morning. I took my bride up to the church house door.
All right, boys, we leave the horses here and surround the house. Now spread out so one of us can pick our sons that we can hide.
Shot right through the pantry and my papa cleaned my hand house and it through. So I loaded up my baby barrel shotgun and a William Morgan Bison shot to shine. By myself I did surround them, and I even shot a grinder in my grandpa Willie's barrel after John. Where she went, where she went, no one knows, no one knows. She vanished like a brown egg in the spring. Where she went, no one cares, no one cares. But I wish she'd send me back my diamond ring. Come with me.
Jane. Bob can take them into town.
The constable's job is only temporary, Sunset.
I appointed you until the citizens will find time to elect a new sheriff. I'll be seeing you, Jane, and soon. So long, Sunset.
So long, Sunset.